I still remember it like it was yesterday, even though it happened when I was just a kid. I was about 8 years old, staying up way past my bedtime, as most children tend to do when they can't sleep, and the house is too quiet. My room was at the far end of the hallway, the one with the little window that looked out to the backyard. The curtains were always drawn tight, because I hated the way the moonlight felt like it was watching me through the glass. But that night, for whatever reason, I left them open. It had been a stormy evening, the kind where the rain knocks against the windows like an angry ghost, and the house creaks with every gust. But still, it was quiet in my room. The hallway that led to my room was old, and it was impossible for anyone to make it to my room without me hearing the creaking of the old warped wood all the way at the beginning of the corridor. I was curled up under my covers, trying to distract myself from the storm by flipping through an old comic book when I first saw them. I heard it before I saw it, the faintest rustle of movement directly at the end of the room. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't the house settling. I froze, staring at the door, my heart pounding in my chest. The shadows in the hallway outside seemed to shift, stretching and pulling in unnatural ways. Anything that would have been by the door did not walk through the hallway to get there, or at least naturally, that is. Then the door slowly creaked open. I wish I could say I screamed, but I didn't. My body went cold, my breath shallow, and there they were, standing in the doorway. 3 of them. They were tall, thin, too thin. Their skin was smooth, greyish, almost like clay, and their faces. God, their faces were what I remember most. Huge black eyes that seemed to pull in all the light in the room, reflecting nothing, just endless depth. I couldn't see their mouths, couldn't even tell if they had any. Their heads were too big for their bodies, and they had these long, spindly arms that hung down almost to the floor. I didn't hear them speak, not in any way that made sense, but there was a feeling in my mind, a thought that wasn't my own. I couldn't make out any words, but a force was telling me I am not in danger. It was impossible to describe, almost like a second being in my head. I didn't know if it was in my head or if they were actually speaking to me. I wanted to move, to scream, to run, but my body wouldn't listen. I could only stare at them, frozen.